KBXXFM Houston. Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth. Welcoming back. He is the founder and CEO of the Gulf Coast organization. Ladies and gentlemen, my guy, Ken White, back in the building. What's up, G?
Sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, and you brought some more folks with you, but these are people that have been a part of the organization and have been scholarship recipients, have gone through, the trenches, which you got all that great training. So please welcome Ronyail and Rasean Branch to the program. Good morning, guys. How's it going?
How are you?
Ronyail, go ahead. Get up to that mic. Yeah, get real close and comfortable. Welcome to Access Houston. Tell us about, first, Ken, for those who may not know, tell us about Gulf Coast organization and what it is that you all do.
Gulf Coast organization, we are a community organization and nonprofit with a focus to provide college preparation and career planning resources to students. We're open to all students throughout the Houston and surrounding areas. We even do work in the state of Louisiana. So our goal is to give these students a better platform and expose them to as much exposure as possible and to give them a better understanding of life, of how to be prepared for life outside of high school. And so we just want them to be prepared in terms of making a decision on if should they go to college, should they go to the military, or should they obtain a trade. And so our two scholars that are here with us this morning, they actually decided to go the college route. So we're happy to have been a part of their lives and to see the transformation and the maturity that these two are having, because it is a process, and for them to know that GCO is still here to support them. So.
Now, when you say, get them ready, for life and expose them to things, what kind of things are we talking when you say expose them to some things?
Well, let's take, for example, let's just say that I have a student that wants to get into media and communications. Okay. So I'll be able to pick up the phone and call him a good guy. Say, hey, KG, I got a student here. He wants to get in media, but he doesn't really understand all of the many facets that come along with being in media. So I would pair him up with you. Say, hey, KG, can he just sit with you for an hour? Maybe you talk with him and you show him some things about the radio. And then from there, maybe we can introduce them to someone maybe in television or someone in music or behind the scenes, because there's so many things. So we try our part in connecting our scholars to resources that'll be beneficial for them. Same way, I actually had a student, he wanted to go into law enforcement. He didn't understand outside of just what he see every day, city, sheriff, constable, state trooper. And so I was able to connect him with a gentleman that's in law enforcement on the federal side. And so it really opened up his mind to understand that, hey, I don't have to limit myself to just on the local level, that I could go federal, I could go state, and that every federal agency for the most part have some type of law enforcement. So we try to do that with our kids, is give them exposure. We do a spring and fall symposium where we'll bring in guests like yourself to talk to the kids about what you do. So that's career planning. And then we'll also uncover some things about college. We'll talk about scholarship opportunities. We'll talk about financial aid. We'll talk about how do you select the college? How do you select the career? I just had a young lady just the other day was telling me she wanted to go to ITT Technical College. I said, you haven't done any research. She's like, what do you mean? I said, ITT Technical College has been closed for a couple of years now. So we have done a lot of research. We put some of that challenges on them. Like Rasean here today, I challenged him, when he was picking schools, and he'll tell you he had to come back and tell me why he didn't select a certain school, and his reason that he gave me could have been avoided because I had given him advice years past. So we just try to make sure that we are positioning ourselves to help these students and give them information that they don't have, and so they can stop this nonsense about they know it all, because they don't know it all.
You're listening to Access Houston, talking to Ken White from the Gulf Coast organization. He has two of his graduates from the organization, Ronyail and Rasean Branch. Guys, so I understand that you all have been down with the program since you were teenagers, like preteen, kind of like 13, 14 years old. How did you hear about the organization? And once you got in, what made you want to stay and go through?
Do you want to go first?
Y'all
Okay.
speak well of me now. Speak well of me.
So we actually went to the same church. He was a deacon at our church, and he kind of reached out to our mom about Gulf Coast organization and taking us out to volunteer. And what really made me stay was the amount of volunteering that we did, and the team court that we went to. It helped me see that what they were telling me was true. Like everything that they were telling me is true. There are better ways to do things, ways to stay out of trouble and all that.
And Rashawn, for you?
Mainly the thing that made me want to stay was probably it's just the volunteering aspect was really helpful and stuff. It allowed me to better connect with my community, I guess you could say. And then it was also helpful, like, school, because, like, there's a bunch of people surrounding you. So if you're, like, struggling in an area, they'd be willing to help you around. Because, like, it's more of a, instead of thinking it as, like, just associates, it's kind of like a big family, you know?
Okay. Yeah, indeed. And what was it like being in there? Was it a lot of fun? Like, tell me if someone is listening and it was like, oh, I think I might want to try to, see what's going down. Tell us the fun stuff about being part of Gulf Coast organization.
Well, one of my favorite things is going to the Houston Food Bank. That's always fun because not only do you get to interact with the new people of Gulf Coast, but you can also interact with the people around. I remember one time there was a group from a sorority, and they did their stroll.
They did a stroll, okay.
And that was fun to watch, and it's just a really big, like, a great experience to go out there. And I even went out there a couple times without them just to, like, have fun and volunteer.
Yeah, and so now you two are college ambassadors. What does that entail? What have you? What are you all going to be doing in this new role?
Well,
trying to recruit, I guess.
I would love to go into the medical field, and Gulf Coast can help you with that. They can reach you out. They can get you to connect to people that have been in the medical field, and they tell you their stories just to make sure that that is what you want to do, and that you know everything that's going to come with it. Like what I want to do, I want to be a radiologist.
Okay.
So it's not as a grueling schedule as a surgeon, because surgeons are always on call and all of that. So as a radiologist, I can get my holidays and visit family, and that's what Gulf Coast has helped me
and still get the bag.
Right.
Yeah, right. For sure.
I guess it kind of entails, like, what you said, recruiting and stuff, where it's like we encourage students who are in Gulf Coast and even outside of Gulf Coast to, like, think about college, and, like, I guess we encourage them to, like, at least attempt to see if, like, for example, my friend, she didn't think she would get into this one, like, big college. Like, she didn't think she'd get into Baylor. But like, I guess for our job would be to encourage her to at least try for it. And turns out she actually did get into Baylor. So
see, look at there. And I'm sure she got there off of her own academics and talent, and didn't have to have her parents pay tens of thousands of dollars to get her admitted to that university. Hey, the truth hurts sometimes. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm KG Smooth. We are talking to Ken White, founder CEO of Gulf Coast Organization. He has brought Ronyail Branch and Rasean Branch, who are some college ambassadors for GCO. Been through the program. So how's college been so far, guys? I mean, everything under the sun happened to me in college, especially my freshman year. It was like, whoa, like really being tested. But, such is life. Life will test you. So how's the college experience been? I bet it's great. You get to make your own rules and come and go as you please, huh?
I usually follow the same rules I did when I was in high
school. Yeah. Well, so my mom didn't go to, like, a traditional college. She was in the military, so she went as she could. But Mr. Ken, he has helped us, like, understand what all we might experience in college. Like he's told us about his trials and his tribulations and how he's gone to tutoring, and that actually was all like, well, if he can go get help, let me go get some help.
Yeah.
So I've actually like I've taken what he said and I've applied it to like my college experience.
That's what's up. Yeah, I feel you on that. I had got a tutor one time. Well, she wasn't really a tutor. I thought that I was an English major, and so I thought that I had my freshman year. I thought I had some grammar issues because I don't know, just looking back, reading back on something that I had wrote, like I was like, man, is this a comma splice or then is this this isn't a run on, is it? Like it, so went and got a tutor, and after like the second session, she was like, why are you here? She was like, your grammar is perfect. Like there is nothing wrong with the way that you write. And so she was like, but I will give you a lot of props just for thinking that you had a problem and recognizing it and not being ashamed to get, the help. So, there's never no such thing as a stupid question. Rasean, how's your college experience been?
College for me has been going. First semester was it was pretty much the same as high school because like I took most of the same classes that didn't carry over. I took most of the same classes from there, and so I already knew the subject matter at hand. And then this semester it's been a little different. Like I've been having to work a little bit harder because I'm taking calculus now, and I've never taken calculus before because I took statistics in high school, and so it's been a challenge, but also a really fun challenge.
A fun challenge, yeah.
Because like I now interact more with the people around me who are good at calculus, like my sister and a few of my friends. So they'll help me through it, and I also do go to like tutoring, for physics, and I just started going for circuit theory and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
See how he's connecting. He learned how to connect
it
other
all.
People and to resources.
Yes.
He learned that from the Gulf Coast organization.
And that's what it is that you all offer. You also got your 2019 Scholars Reception that's coming up. What's the date on that?
Yes, sir. Saturday, April 13th at the KDISD Legacy Stadium. From the red carpet starts at 6. The event starts at 6:30 and will be done by 8 o'clock. Last year we sold out. We had over 100 people in attendance, and Access Houston's very own KG Smooth was one of our honorees. Yes. And so we are proud to. This is our second year, and we're looking forward to award several high school seniors again with scholarships, and we will be also honoring individuals from the community as well.
And where's it going to be?
At the KDISD Legacy Stadium.
Ah, okay. Same spot.
Same spot.
Yeah. KDIS. Oh, and I got some information on that for you that we'll talk about offline. And your big summer trip. So you're taking the kids to Atlanta this year.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. A lot of great MLK history. Just a lot of great history in Atlanta, period. Like, absolutely. First of all, black people run the A from the mayor on down. They call it the Hollywood of the South, Black Hollywood. So it's a lot of culture in Atlanta, and you'll probably get the vibe that, because when I went back, because I moved here from Texas from Georgia, but I only actually lived in the city of Atlanta for 7 months, but I was living in Columbus, Georgia. But going back for Super Bowl, I was like, Atlanta and Houston are fraternal twins.
Yeah.
They literally are fraternal twins.
I agree.
And I mean, same vibe, same feeling. I mean, there were times where I still thought that I was in Houston, Texas. And then I had one of my homegirls who visited me here, and she's like, Houston give me Atlanta vibes like all day. Yeah. I was like, yo, that's exactly what it is.
Great people, great food, great culture.
Yeah. So y'all should enjoy that. And folks, save the date for Saturday, April the 13th for Golf Course Organization's 2019 Scholarships Reception. It's going to be at the KDISD Legacy Stadium. Where can I get more information, Ken?
At the website, The number 2GCO.org. That's connect2GCO.org. And we're also on social media at Connect2GCO. That's on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, well, thank you, Ronyail and Rasean, man. Thank y'all for coming on and sharing your experience. I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you for having us.
No doubt.
You see how they did that, KJ? The twins, man.
Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah. Fraternal twins. Yeah. Houston and Atlanta. Hey, no, just kidding. No, man, thank you guys.
Thank you for having us, man. Thank you.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth. Welcome him back. He comes every year. He's been here for the last 2 years. I would like to consider him a friend to the program. He's the youth program manager at Baker Ripley Community Centers. Ladies and gentlemen, my man, Sean Brennan. Good morning, man.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
How you been?
Doing good. Life's happening pretty fast.
fast.
Summer's right around the corner. So.
It is, and I was just about to ask you, how are you mentally preparing yourself for these youth summer camps that you all have coming up?
That's a loaded question. I'm preparing for the summer. I'm also finishing out the school year. We run a lot of after-school programs, so we're completing some of the really cool stuff that we do during the after-school, all while there's a cloud of summer coming around the corner.
Man, so you stay pretty busy with all of that.
Oh, yeah, we're year-round with our programs.
Indeed. So first, for those who may not be familiar, tell us about Baker Ripley and all of the services that you all offer, because you do so much in the community. That's why you are the community neighborhood place to go. Just a vast variety of programs and things that you all offer. Just give us some. So
I don't know if we have the time to touch on everything today,
right.
But our agency works with our neighbors throughout the Houston area to address areas of needs in the areas. And our approach is geared toward making sure that our communities can earn, learn, and belong, that they can provide for their families, that they can get the education that they need, and that they're connected with their communities.
Indeed. And with everything that you all do, one of the important things, or one of the fun things, are these youth summer camps. And so
it's the fun thing for me.
Well, at least for the kids. At least for the kids.
Well, I get to be a big kid, so
and that's fun. I mean, I don't think we ever should grow up. That's why I love Ellen DeGeneres, because she still keeps that to make it okay to still, be a kid at heart.
Just dance when you feel like dancing.
Right,
just
dance,
get up and dance.
and prank and all in safe, clean fun. Right. So registration is open now for the summer camps, the youth summer camps. When do they start?
So our program starts on June 3rd and runs through August 9th. We're open. We're open for registration right now. Our center's open at 9 a.m. and they're open till 6 p.m. Sometimes even later, but we will definitely have someone there by 6. So you can start the registration process now. Like I said, our programs are full days, so they're from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. We provide 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and a snack that's provided through the Houston Food Bank, the Kids Cafe program. And then we also have weekly field trips that we go on. We're heavily focused on education to make sure that the kids are actually getting something productive during their summer. They're actually learning. They're having fun. We're trying to make it a fun summer at the same time, so we're very hands-on with our activities. But, it's their summer. They need to learn something.
Yes.
They need to maintain what they've gained throughout the school year so that they're not sliding back at the beginning of the year and having to remember everything like that. So we're working with them on their schoolwork. We're keeping them up. And they're having fun at the same time, so the weekly field trips get them out and they get to explore the city. Yeah. We do a lot of team building activities, a lot of leadership activities, just to try to really keep them engaged.
That's what's up. And engagement is very important, because I feel as if, with technology and these smartphones that makes everybody dumb, I feel that the human contact and human communication and connection is being lost. So
I heard something the other day about the idea of technology and what it's doing for our youth, and it was saying that a lot of our youth lack boredom. The boredom that we used to have that would creativity would stem from that boredom.
Right.
So the idea of now there's always something that they can go to. There's always a YouTube. There's always the social media. There's always a game. There's no time where there's like nothing to do. Really, because
they stay on Fortnite.
Everything is instant access whenever they want it. Right. So the idea of taking an hour to complete a task is something that's
daunting
old.
to them.
It's not something that they do. It's just like, no, I have a little bit of time right here. I'm going to play this. Now I'm done with that. I'm going to move on to this. What we would do in our programs is say you have an hour to complete this science project, and they work on that. They focus on that for an hour. At the same time, technology is where we're all going to, right? Everything does happen on our phones. So there's a lot of educational aspects to that, right? And we can't just completely ignore it.
Sure.
So we have to take time throughout our day to make sure that we're addressing that and that we're providing that education. So a lot of our math activities will happen through a program called Imagine Math. So it's an online program that helps them play games and learn at the same time, and they actually get that computer time instead of just just random strolling through the internet. Right. Have something productive.
I
that's
love that integration. You're kind of tricking the child into learning, that way.
Yeah, you have to
smart.
do that. And then there's also so we have we're bringing back our robotics program that we did last year, Code Venture, where we use the Sphero robots that they used to code, and then also the Lego Mindstorms. And they would build their Lego robots, and they would be able to code them to complete certain tasks. And one of the cool things is that they can do that all from an iPad, all from a tablet, all from their phones, to do all this coding themselves, but they're doing something productive at the same time. And then last year we had our first robotics competition with that.
How did that go?
It was so cool. Yeah. It was so cool. Honestly, I hadn't been able to get real hands-on with them during that process. Probably because I'm not building robots. That's my incredible staff can help teach that, and I don't really know how to build a robot. So I helped lead this competition and everything like that, and I emceed the event, was able to be there, and let me tell you, it was a heated competition. The kids were getting so into it, and they were doing some incredible things. But even the parents,
are all into it.
Just any sports parent.
I don't know. Have you ever? I've randomly came across that show that's I don't know what network it comes on, but it's like Battle of the Robots or Robot Wars or something, and these bots are
I've seen different
fighting
things like
that the kids are controlling. Yeah, so that's what it kind of
so it's kind of like that. And we even had one event with the Sphero robots, which are these little balls that you can kind of control to do different things. And we had one event on there that was called that was sumo wrestling. So we had a big circle, and they put their balls in the middle, and then they created different designs for something to go on top of their ball. And then it would be able to maneuver the ball and push the other balls outside of the circle. So that's how you would win that specific event.
This sounds
so it wasn't fighting and destroying each other.
Right.
But kind of just
moving
building that competitive spirit.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, you're listening to Access Houston. We're talking to Sean Brennan, who is the youth program manager for Baker Ripley. The Baker Ripley's youth summer camps registration is open right now, and there are 6 different area Baker Ripley community centers throughout Houston. So you can log on to the site to get more information on that. But there are 2 groups. You got the little leaders and the youth leaders. So tell us about the little leaders, Sean.
So the little leaders are the ones are 4 years old all the way to our 13-year-olds. They're the ones that get to do the cool Lego stuff and the robotics. And we try to keep it very interactive for them. It's a long day, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. So we provide a lot of, it's 11 hours with the kids, that's a long day. So we have to do different things with them. We bring in special guest speakers, try to really expose them to some of the cool things that are out there, and really keep them engaged throughout the entire day.
That's great.
And then with the young leaders, that's our older group that are 14 to 18 years old.
Okay.
And with them, their program is, they provide a little bit more freedom right there in high school. So their program is geared toward actually building their 21st century soft skills, such as communication, leadership, professionalism, networking, team building, all those different things that they don't necessarily learn explicitly inside of a classroom.
Yeah.
It happens within a classroom, but it's not saying like you are going to learn communication right now. You are going to learn networking
Civil
right now.
engagement. Like, yeah.
So it's something that you have to have whenever you're leaving high school and entering the workforce or going off to college, because it's a completely different experience. And what we're finding is a lot of high schoolers aren't necessarily prepared for that. And that's the goal of the program, is to get them prepared. So what we do is teach them these skills, and then we want them to put it into action. And the put it to action part is they actually come together as a group and they develop their own service learning project. So they'll talk with the neighbors, they'll figure out what issues are happening in their communities, do some research, and then actually come up with a plan on how they might want to address an issue that's plaguing their neighborhood. And then they come together, they do their call to action, and then at the end of the summer, we are going to have a big celebration where they get to stand up and talk about some of their accomplishments, how they approached it, what feelings they had, and kind of brag on themselves a little bit. And look what we did, something like that.
That is dope. So all the parents that are listening, if you've been thinking about, what am I going to do with this child this summer? Here we go. Baker Ripley's Youth Summer Camps. Registration open now. 6 area locations. What's the website, Sean? Where can they go?
They can go to bakerripley.org/youth-program.
bakerripley.org/youth-program. Get all the information for Baker Ripley's youth summer programs. Registration happening right now. Ages 4 to 18. Basically, there's 2 groups. You got the little leaders from 4 to 13, and then you got the young leaders from 14 to 18. So log on to the site, get your kids signed up. We got all the information there. Man, Sean, this is always a pleasure, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
Man,
had a great time.
And it's some great things. Like, it makes me want to just come and see what is going on this summer, because it sounds so fun.
You should come play with us. That's what we're doing. We're playing.
Let's set that up, Sean.
Let's do it.
All right, no doubt. Sean Brennan, the youth program manager for Baker Ripley. G, I appreciate you coming on.
All right, appreciate it.
And thank you for listening to Access Houston. We'll be right back.